and I think there are two or three pieces that you sort of touched upon there, which I would like to sort of lay open to the panel. And let me pick up first on us point of saying that. So I think what I hear broadly from all of you is that clearly there is a trend upwards, right? Some categories have been on the right side of the business and therefore have benefited upwards. The others are catching up, but there is a trend upwards, right? However, I think the question therefore is what is determining the winners, right? And there is three parts of question that I've asked. So I think one is clearly we've seen what I hear from you, a different social dynamic at play. So what kind of so consumers are not meeting as many people, social interactions are down, they're working from home, number of visits might be down, but they're still continuing to consume. And similarly, the desire to be well, the desire to be more safe is making sure certain types of consumer, whether it's in terms of age brackets or whether it's just the more at-risk populations who are possibly paying less. So I think the question of you is that what is the change that we've seen in both the are there specific segments of consumers that are shopping more, and therefore whether it's by age, gender, type of city, that you're seeing significantly shopping more, and what's the kind of shift that it's made to category that is selling out there, or is it year before or before that? Open to any of you to pick up.
Look, it's difficult to say if one segment is shopping more, but I think where are people spending more? I think more people are spending on home and anything to do with making life at home more comfortable, more enjoyable, more livable. Because fundamentally, there's a shift in the importance of the home to people's lives. It is today your office, it's your school, it's your entertainment hub, it's your, the cafe, everything that you were doing outside, you have now tried and found ways of making it happen at home. So anything that goes into the home, whether it is furniture, furnishing, whether it is electronics, whether it is kitchen goods, I recently saw HUL has launched a brand of mayonnaise in India because people are cooking more for themselves. These kind of things will start happening as well. So anything that goes into the home as a space is at a premium now. Suddenly, that would be my take.
In real estate, as I mentioned, the size and the ticket size of the homes has dramatically changed. So the average ticket size now, for example, in a city like Mumbai, and you'll be shocked and surprised to know that, is around 1.5 crore, which means that most of the transactions are happening in the far suburbs and smaller homes. And even when you see mainstream suburban Mumbai, the sizes of the new launches are now, at an average of 600 and 650 square feet, as opposed to, the whole boom of 1,000 square feet plus homes that were earlier decade the mainstay in the real estate segment. So customers and home buyers, potential home buyers, are those who are largely end users and are those who are looking to kind of consolidate and stabilize and find their own home, given the whole situation of insecurity that also has actually creeped in the way landlords had responded when the pandemic set in to people who were living on rent. And therefore, the sense of security is now more heightened and moving towards securing that piece of land, which eventually someone really wants to look at. So that, to my mind, has been a psychographically driven shift in terms of consumption patterns, if you will, when it comes to buying homes.
Also, this entire thing of working from home, you need a nice place to sit and work. Therefore, and also the thing that you don't need to necessarily commute to office, so it can be a little further away from the place as well. So both of these things are together driving people to, find their own little nest, I think.
Right.
No,
category wise,
if I may add, there is we did talk about it yesterday as well. There is a level of a consumer who's economically not impacted by COVID, right? And I'm referring to the high-end consumer. And not that they're actively going out, like perhaps what we saw in China, and we'll be reading about those revenge buying that's happened. But there's a sense of saying that, okay, I need to get out, I need to do something. But brands and solutions which are actively approaching to them and treating or just knocking on the door for that need, that latent need, are responding very well. So in our business, I know that the high end is gone above the roof. So, and when I say high end, I'm talking about 3 carat plus diamonds. That's an area that's really booming, and people who've been stuck at home are responding heavily. The other, just to give flavor to our conversation with everybody, the other is the wedding segment, which is a very important one for our business. And very interestingly, right, what's happened in that segment is that, typically in an Indian wedding, or if let's say you have a certain budget to be spent or invested in the wedding, that budget is not perhaps a 1 month salary or 2 month salary. I mean, people save it over a lifetime, right? And what's interestingly happened is, and I'm talking about hugely in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 markets, also in tier 1 markets in some sense, that the budgets have stayed the same, right? But the expense, which was earlier on 4 large functions with 2,000 people each, heavy duty honeymoons and all that is not happening. But we've been the category that has been able to attract that investment. So it's been a great amount of, percentage of that kitty that used to go to different segments is now going to gems and jewelry. So again, not everybody's taking the advantage of it, but people who are smart and knocking the door of really, translating that latent need to the consumer are benefiting.
Interesting.
Let me just build on these points, right? Some of this is just a repeat of what, like all of Ritesh, Sachin, and Girish said, that I think things that are increasing the quality of life of people, I think those are certainly in demand, and people are in fact willing to spend more because it is something which is important for them. They directly derive value more than they used to because they're spending more time at home, for instance. They're willing to spend more. They continue to be value conscious about it, so they look for an opportunity to save, but the ticket sizes to an extent have gone up across the board. Now, there are 2 things that are happening from a supply point of view around where we see that some supply is doing better than others, and all of them are our partners. So the retailers and brands that are investing in communicating with these users who also now have more time to spend and research more online, a little bit of what Sachin said, right? Like people are researching online, spending more time online. They are building better traction, and it's being done in 2 ways. One is that direct to consumer brands, right, who never had any other offline presence, now realizing they are in a very sweet spot because they are equal to anyone else who had spent so much time building the offline network. But even without that, they can reach out to the same consumer, talk about the value proposition, talk about the communication, and they are doing it digitally in a very digitally native way. So they don't need that salesman or that intermediary to do all of that conversation. The value is being delivered through the content, through the messaging that's being done, right? And they're probably doing a better job in that in some way, right? So they are able to get that customer. Examples of this would be, at least in our system, I see electronics, accessories, all of these high-end things which are very close to people, really seeing an uptick. And a lot of that is also going towards the newcomers who are coming in. The second is that established large retailers and brand, they are being smart and saying that, okay, these are our customers who know our brand offline, and they are finding that there is a void, that enough communication is not happening because those users are not coming out. But what if we reach out to them? What if we reach out to them online, provide that right content, provide the right call to action and conversion? Now, the digital funnels of many of the offline players are not as robust yet, but the ones that are doing best are the ones who are able to move fast on that, iterate on that, and there's a lot of learning that is happening. I think so. These are really the opportunities that customers are looking to spend more on things that they value, and there's an opportunity to communicate with them in the right way, express the value proposition in a much closer way than what was being done in the past, and thus be able to convert them online. And some of that online communication is then leading to an offline conversion also, because in our system we are able to see that some of the brands, they are able to sell on the online channel that they've created, but some of them are able to just see the offline channel convert better because of the fact that the communication is a lot stronger than